Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network, April 2025, 23rd. All right, so let's start with S&P 500. We just had a nice move to the upside today. S&P 500, kind of like a recapturing SMA 20 on a daily basis. And we just got a nice bull flag here. We again get back to this high, which is April 9. This is very, very important level, folks. So whenever we get there, sellers to control, and this is kind of like another time that sellers to control as well here at this level. So keep an eye on 5,500, because if we get above 5,500 on a daily close, we are gonna just get back potentially to 57, and also you're gonna test this double top here or even brand new all-time high. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, as long as we are not above 5,500, we should just keep cautious in our trading and also investment as well. But all in all, I should say a weekly chart tells me that we are kind of like a pretty close to the bottom, if it's not bottom. Tomorrow and also Friday is going to be a good weekly close if we get a kind of like a positive momentum this week. So we will see how it goes. Right now, we will give market benefit of doubt. Today volume was decent, above 80 million, which is a decent volume for SPY as well. Moving on to Nasdaq, which was a fantastic positive, but this is after hours. I don't know, based on the earnings, I need to double check. I didn't have time to double check, but Nasdaq just got into this trend line here. You see that it just pierced a Pinocchio bar here, and getting back to the downside, rejected 19,200. So that's the level, exactly the same scenario like S&P 500. If we get above this April high, 19,200, then we can go to this level, which is again another seller zone. But after that, it's going to be a kind of like a very easy ride to 22,000. But 19,000 to 20,000, this area, there are lots of sellers congested there. So we'll see how it goes with the market. All in all, I should say, we are just waiting to RSI is getting back above 50%, because since this sell-off, RSI cannot move above this 50%. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Dow, which is kind of like a weaker than S&P 500 and Nasdaq as well. So it's just a piercing all the way up to 40,000 and then getting back to the downside. Rejected by this SMA 20 and also this 40,000 to 41,000. This is a seller zone for Dow Jones. So we will see how it goes. But I think for the next 2 days, we may see a minor corrective move, but that would be a minor. I think we are not going to test this April low, at least for this month. Potentially, there is going to be a potential scenario for months of May. But I would say even if we test that area, we are pretty close to the market bottom, market low for 2025. And after that, we should have a decent rally. Gold just getting crushed today, going down almost 3% to the downside. After hours, it's just a spike up 20 points right now. I would say this is kind of like a corrective rally within this downtrend, because it is oversold in 4 hours and also 1 hour chart. If you go to the 4 hour chart, you see that this is crazy oversold here, and we are just getting to this area. So we may see some kind of like ending diagonal, potentially even goes back up to test this white range bar breakout zone. But ultimately, I'm just looking for low 3,000 for gold, at least at this stage of the game. So we can have like a golden box here, 3,000. Even if it goes lower, still it's going to be bullish. But this is my second kind of like a bigger or deeper correction. But right now, we should just give gold a benefit of doubt for a corrective rally. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to silver, which had a fantastic move today, 3% to the upside silver. It's kind of like a disappointing for me, because I sold half of my position in silver and then just keep the half waiting for a corrective move to here. Still, I'm looking for a correction, but I'm not sure if it gets here. But we may see some kind of like a corrective move to here. And that would be the ideal scenario for silver to getting back to the upside. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to crude. Crude just a negative day today, just forming a consolidation. This is April low, and I believe that this is a low. And crude is getting back to above a 61. but 65 is kind of like a resistance area here. So we need to see a pullback potentially for crude and then getting back to the upside again. So I believe crude is bottom. A Bitcoin had a fantastic move today to the upside, great surge. So it just engulfed this 88,000. It's getting close to 94, 96,000. So if it goes above 94,000, that would be a great scenario for Bitcoin because it can test this triple top or even new all-time high. Ethereum is the same, just they keep going higher. Ethereum has kind of like a harder time to go higher because there is a big trend line here. So it needs to get above this 2100. Right now we are at 1796, and I believe we can get there to 2000, but above that, I'm not sure. Bond yield, just getting back to the upside. I believe this is kind of like a good move, and I think a bond yield is going to get back again above 4% for a short term. Not sure if it touched this area. That would be the potential scenario, potential. But it's going to be hard time for bond yield to get here to 4.60. But after that, I would say that's going to be a marvelous sell-off to here to 3%. So still looking for this downside move. We are in no man's land. We are looking for a corrective rally at least for 420. Treasury on the other side just gapped up, a huge sell-off today. So this means still a bond is not in favor for investors and traders. So any gap is kind of like a sold off. So we will see, but the stock market is kind of like a getting more attention from investors and traders. VIX is down today, just a doji bar. And this is very typical, a technical reaction. We got into this bottom and we got into this breakout zone. So we may see some kind of like a bounce next 2 days, potentially. If market goes to corrective move, VIX can have a jump, but that's going to be a small one. Dixie just getting back to the upside after this intermediate low. I would say Dixie can go to 100 down the road, even 102 is coming. Apple today just have a nice move today, but sold off even after hours. It goes lower. Amazon the same. It's just going all the way to 188. Gapped up, pretty nice gap, but sold off the entire session. I believe that it's going to go down tomorrow. So tomorrow, no surprise if market goes to correction. Meta again gapped up, but going down. So Meta again can gap fill around the 500. As I said, tomorrow could be kind of like the corrective move for lots of names. The stock market can go to negative territory as well. Microsoft, the same price action, gapped up, going to fill the gap. Google nicely gapped up today, hold up a doji bar. We need to get above 161 to give Google benefit of doubt. Netflix cannot manage higher high. So Netflix new closing all-time high, but actually not all-time high, and all-time high is here closing. And new closing actually compared to yesterday, but it's lower high. Tesla, nice gap today to the upside, 5%. Still looking for Tesla to go above 280, because if it goes above 280, I would say Tesla 380 can be a potential scenario for Tesla. I know it's crazy, right? So another 100 level for Tesla, still not getting to all-time high, but it's going to be a good trade. Semiconductor index, SMX, just gapped up today, 200, getting back to the downside. SOX, the same pattern, going down here, 175. And then intraday price action was kind of like a negative. Taiwan Semiconductor gapped up, hitting this trend line here, going down. I believe, all in all, I should say, when I see the market can go to corrective move for next 2 days. So still for tomorrow, there's going to be high chance, but not sure for Friday. We'll see. AMD just going up and then coming down. Intraday session, it's just going up and down, but close above 85, which I need actually for stay bullish. Nvidia, nice gap today, but sellers to control, going down, close above 100, which is bullish scenario. Texas Instruments, huge gap today, especially after earning announcement. Seems like earning was good. So we're going to have another potential uptick tomorrow as well, 158. And Lam Research, nice gap up today. So Lam Research after hours it goes higher as well. So that's nice to see. Semiconductors are getting back to the momentum. XLF, just a huge gap up and shooting a star to the downside. KBE, the same, shooting a star to the downside. KRE gapped up, shooting a star. Lots of names actually just getting overshoot for a short term. So that's why I'm saying like tomorrow we can see more deeper correction. JP Morgan shooting up, challenging this trend line, cannot manage above it. So it's just going down. We may see some kind of like a volatility tomorrow. Goldman Sachs, the same pattern here. Bank of America, the same here as well. Wells Fargo just gapped up, going down again, shooting the star. So you see that different price action. In sectors, but they are kind of like talking in the same way that we may see some kind of like a correction tomorrow. GDX, which is gold miners, after a huge gap down today, just the buyers get back to the momentum even after hours it goes higher. I believe it's going to be a dead cat bounce for these names. GDX, the same price action here. AEM, just close out at 119. After hours it goes higher. Newmont just test a 51 and then nice buck up today, so it goes to 53. That's great move for Newmont, especially after hours. And gold barrick, a huge gap down. Look at that. So this is a crazy gap down for gold barrick, and still it's just forming a bullish harami here as well. So we'll see. XLE, which is energy spider, just going down today after a higher high. And this is kind of like a correction prior to the next rally here. Exxon, the same pattern going down. After hours, it just keep the same. And Chevron still dealing with this demand area. I would say this demand area can last for a few weeks. But after that, we should see after, I would say, June timeframe. After that, we should see a parabolic move potentially is coming with crude and energy stocks. So we'll see how it goes. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.